What is up, folks? We are entering day 32, 33, 34, 35, who knows anymore. We started out by farming some juice for delving some Uber Elder kills, and we got a Elder Royal Burgonet. It's worth about 50-60c or something like that. Decent base. I might spam some horrors on it or something. So once we'd done the Guardians and we'd tackled Uber Elder, this was our 9th Uber Elder with no jewel. So are we going to get a jewel? We do get a jewel. Let's give the jewel a quick ID and see what we end up with. It's double determination. This ended up selling for 110c. I guess if you're playing the build where you're cursed with vulnerability, then determination gets rid of it, and maybe you want double. This was a pretty depressing death. I headed all the way to a fire node at depth 520. I then tabbed out by accident and got shot from a distance and lost the zone. So we'll never know what are in those boxes. The main point of the video is that when you're in depth, I think this is 534, and you're getting into the 500 plus zones. I've never been in these zones. All the fights become super long and super drawn out, and you actually have to dodge things and play the fights out properly. So to make videos and get content, every zone is taking longer and longer, and it's becoming more and more difficult, which is fun to play. But even your simple Azurite zone, you end up figuring out, oh wait, this is what he's actually called. You can read his name bar because he doesn't get one-shotted. You have to dodge his scream, and the fights are just becoming much tougher, as you will see right now. This is a depth 535 extra cold, beyond endurance charge, power charge, no curse zone. And when you go into a beyond zone, it basically creates the pods, and then beyond monsters spawn. And if you didn't know, beyond monsters, when you kill them on the red pod, it has a chance to spawn a boss. And obviously when you're killing this many, you end up spawning a boss pretty frequently. This guy pops out, now I'm bending stone, and the fights are really intense, and I obviously am enjoying it, but it's taking so long to actually delve down that the people that have delved down to thousands and thousands as a solo player must be absolutely grinding, because I'm playing a lot and it's taking a long time to farm the soul fight and then do zones like this where Abaxoth spawns, and initially you're like, I can't even see where he is, who am I meant to be targeting, and I finally find him, and you know, last time it was depth 400, it was kind of a quick fight. This time you actually get to see the boss name and you're having a full-on fight, and it's just becoming crazy hectic down here, and I'm enjoying playing it. But yeah, there's like, I don't know, it's like an experience I've not had before, so that's great, because Path of Exile, obviously once you've played a lot like me, you've done most of the things in the game, but the delving, I guess, is still producing new moments, which is really nice that a player that's played so much can still encounter new things, and you can see how much loot it drops or doesn't drop. But, you know, if you didn't have a loot filter, you know, we would be well and truly screwed, wouldn't we? Because there's so much loot on the screen. So after delving a little bit and, you know, going down to depth 530, that took a long time. I went back to look at some things in some zones that I'd missed, and it was a depth 400 boss. I've tried this boss like 6 or 7 times on my own, and I just couldn't do it. There was a phase where he was locking on and targeting me, and I just couldn't figure a way around it, so I got my mate in, and we ended up taking him down. Now this mod is extra proj, I think extra damage, and it's 60% more life. So 60% more life mixed with another player in here means that its life pool is just enormous, and I'm not the fastest DPS build you're ever going to see, right? So we figured out that you can kind of avoid the beam, that when he starts to channel it, you can then you circle around. That seems to be like a key theme in Path of Exile, that when you've got a boss that's difficult, you just run around. So avoiding the lock-on was somewhat easier, but to tell you a story, we've got another boss at Delve like 530, which has 0 mods on, and it's just this boss, but it's Delve 530, and it's just, you'd think it would be okay, because if I can kill this, right, with mods, you'd think I'd be able to kill another one without mods that just has more health, because this has already got more health, right? 2-player HP and 60% at 400. It's probably the same HP as a Delve 531, but I just can't kill the damn thing, and I'm struggling to... The fights are so long, and you have to get the soul fight, and when you fail the attempt, you have to travel back to the zone. It ends up costing like 2 or 3 soul fight an attempt. Sometimes you just misplay, and the fights are becoming very, very difficult down here, but what I'm trying to do with these videos is, I know there are people that do better builds, more builds, quicker builds, different type of content like crazy stream reactions because they've got like 5,000 people watching them, and more stuff naturally is going to happen when you've got that than just me playing on my own. But I'm trying to show you some footage that maybe I guess, I hate using the word average, but the average player hasn't seen, because most people, they do the challenges, they do the Atlas, they get a build and they enjoy it, but they don't have the time to actually go ahead and go all the way down to Delve 530 and attempt a boss like this, or do a Delve 550 Abaxoth, you know. So I'm trying to basically post some footage that gives you something to watch that maybe you haven't seen before. So we're coming to the end of the kill. I've got Cull on, which is probably going to save me about 10-15 minutes of actually hitting this thing, but you basically just got to dodge everything, because with the extra proj I just get walloped. So it's just been a dodging exercise for like 5 minutes straight, and it is fun. However, I got absolutely nothing from that boss. So after we'd done that, I started to again sort of go through some side nodes, try find some fossils that I'd maybe missed, and even the Delve cities are becoming very long and difficult. So normally you'd see me slide into this zone, blow up the monsters, click the boxes and run to the next zone. However, when you're at this depth and you've got like 70% monster life, ailment on hit, crit, multi, nemesis mod, frenzy charge on hit, monsters can't be slowed, monsters can't be taunted, 60% less effective curses, monsters have a 27% chance to deal elements on hit, you know. You actually have to sit and fight them and kill them or you will die, and that's, I imagine, how I thought Path of Exile was going to be, and it was in the early stages, that when you got to a difficult zone you had to adjust your character, and that's what I've been doing periodically throughout Delve. I've been changing little passive points, little pieces of gear, and that's been super fun, and it feels more like a game that way, like, alright, this monster's got this, and I'm going to change this to counter that. So that's what delving's given me. It's given me, I guess, a little bit of a different experience where, as well as breaking walls and picking up some chaos orbs, you're actually changing your character and seeing how you can make your character work for different zones, which is something that you don't really get in regular mapping. Basically you just put on Stormbrand or something, Elementalist, and you just one-shot everything, and maybe if you're killing a boss you put in concentrated effect. But when you're doing the delving, there's a nice variety. Sometimes you get some currency boxes, sometimes you get, you know, the crazy Abaxoth spawning, or Abaxoth, or whatever it's called, however you pronounce it. It's like those people that say K-ohms roots. Just say combs. We don't need to say K-ohms. But yeah, it's got that balance of really tough zones. Sometimes you get really rewarded, sometimes you don't, and sometimes you just get straight one-shotted. I've actually had I had 2 deaths today, and that was depth 530. One, I wasn't paying full attention and didn't have my flasks up, and it was an LE pen zone and I died. And the second one was just that AFKs, because normally you can just AFK for a second in Path of Exile, it doesn't matter, you won't be one-shotted, but down here you just get one-shotted. So if you have been enjoying the content over the past months, then do feel free to head over to the Twitch channel and hit follow. Do like the videos and comment. Those are the best ways to support me without any monetary action from yourself. If you're feeling extremely generous and you've been enjoying the content for the many years and you want to donate, I will put a link in the description, but it's by all means not necessary. That is just something that if you want to do, the options there. So I'm hopefully getting to Delve 600 next. That might be the next video. I might hold off making a video until I've got some more interesting content for you guys, because I'm not sure how many more walls you can watch been broken and opened. But you can let me know, do you actually like watching the walls been opened in the little travelling, or do you just want to see like good stuff, or do you want me to kind of do these kind of, I won't call them story, but I guess, you know, I explain what's happening rather than just throwing up clip after clip of exciting moments. Personally, I enjoy these sort of story style videos because I get to explain what I'm doing in the game and how I'm feeling, but obviously you're the viewer, it's up to you, so let me know in the comments below, and hopefully I will adjust that for the next video.